How's it going, everybody? Um, right now it's what time is it? Freaking like 10:30 or something. So before I go to bed, I just want to share you my 2 cents about what happened this earlier this evening, and that was the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul boxing match on Netflix Live. I watched the whole thing. I got back from my work and I watched it. I thought I was gonna be late, but apparently they had about some undercard matches before that that took up a couple of hours. So I got there just in time. And yeah, man, holy crap! First of all, Netflix and live sports events just don't gel. Okay, they don't gel. They should not belong in the same sentence. Obviously, from tonight, if you watch it the same time as I did, you would notice that Netflix crashed every other freaking 2 minutes or so. It was so frustrating. The one that was trending on Twitter, it was not even about the boxing itself. It was about how Netflix kept crashing and crashing, and I had to keep refreshing my page. I don't know about you guys, but I had to do that. It's like, and I had to like maybe if I change the tweak the URL a little bit, I could come back to Netflix again because I was kind of sort of locked out of my own Netflix account because it kept crashing. It was terrible, and I hear that Netflix is gonna, they have a new deal with WWE Raw, right? Which is also gonna be live starting next year, and also I think they are gonna air some NFL football live stream also on Netflix. Dude, how do you expect to do that, Netflix, if you can't even show a crappy fixed boxing match between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson? And we all know that was so staged. That was so scripted, and that's gonna be my next point. But my first point to get across to you is that if this is a picture of an idea of what's gonna happen when Netflix um, airs WWE Raw Live or Football Live, man, it's a bad start. Okay, they gotta fix whatever they gotta do to make sure that it doesn't crash often like this anymore, because this is not a good sign. They're not giving assurances um, to WWE and the fans, to NFL and the fans. This is just crappy all around. Holy crap. Um, so yeah, my next point is the match itself, the boxing match between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. It was terrible, terrible. Oh my god! Hey guys, I grew up. I don't know about you guys. I'm a millennial, so I caught the. I guess you could say the last win or the last end of Mike Tyson's career in the '90s. He Mike Tyson's prime was like in the '80s and all the way up till like mid '90s, as you all know, and of course the infamous uh, biting of the ear of Evander Holyfield. I watched that when I was a kid with my dad. My dad was into boxing too, and we kept staying on, for the heavyweight stuff after Mike Tyson's reign, Lennox Lewis and all those guys. Um, and now, of course, heavyweight boxing is a thing of the past. Nobody does that anymore. It's now welterweight with the freaking Pacquiao guys. So anyway, um, so for those of us who are old enough to remember Mike Tyson in his prime, tonight's match was absolutely lame. It was just so uneven. Like, what the hell was that? Jake Paul was a Jake Paul is a goddamn joke. Okay, that reporter who kind of dissed him at the press conference. And Taylor Chris said, "Dude, I wasn't even able to watch it thanks to Netflix Bull." Exactly, that's my point earlier. I can't believe WWE Raw Live is gonna be on Netflix starting next year. I was like, how do you expect people to watch it if you keep crashing every 5 minutes? It's dumb. They gotta fix their server or something, or they gotta upgrade whatever. Otherwise, they're not gonna be the home of live football or live sports at all. If you judge that by tonight's uh, crappy airing of the live Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. So anyway, the match, And I hope you guys, if you guys didn't catch it because Netflix crashing, maybe you guys can catch it on Twitter or some or bootleg whatever. It was dumb, dude. Jake Paul is a goddamn joke. He can only fight boxers who are way past their prime. And that reporter who dissed him at the press conference made a good point. Like, when are you gonna actually fight, boxers that are like in their prime right now? Kind of like the old saying, like, pick somebody your own size, right? Pick on somebody your own size. So the match were 8 rounds, of course, 2 minutes per round, and Mike Tyson in every round looked visibly slow and sluggish, and for those of us who are old enough, again, I was one of them, like, and I know a lot of you are probably Gen Xers or even older than me. We remember Mike Tyson in his prime, how lethal he was, how fast, how you want to avoid his left hook. He's just like the guy when he stares down at you before the match even begins, like you're in for a world of hurt. That was the Mike Tyson that we knew, we remembered. What I saw tonight, it was not that Mike Tyson. I don't know who that man was. That was not the Mike Tyson I remember. Okay, and it was just like, so Jake Paul is basically was boxing uh, somebody like a shadow of her of his, I'm sorry, of a shadow of his former self, a shell of his own former being, however you want to call it. Okay, it's not Mike Tyson anymore. That was not Mike Tyson tonight. It was just like this slow ass dude slugging, and like, he kept taking punches from Jake Paul, like he every punch that Jake Paul gave like landed on Mike Tyson. I was like, what the hell am I watching? This is not a boxing match. It's not an equal, opposing forces. These are just like Jake Paul, doing practicing with, like, it's like, what the hell? And I feel sorry. I feel so bad for the people who were there in the arena. Calma Force, I think if Mike could hold fight, no holds barred, he would win easily. Yeah, I was very disappointed. All hype, no fight, a total scam. So Paul and Tyson could make 40 and 20 bucks million, yeah, 20, 40 million each per night. That was my next point. I feel bad for the people attending in the arena because they pretty much got ripped off, especially those celebrities paying big bucks for those front seats. Um, with the Netflix thing, we already subscribed, so I didn't. It's not much of a loss per se to me, at least, because um, it's not an extra thing, you know. But still, man, holy crap, that was a sham, a farce of a fight, a cash grab. If there was ever one, if ever I've seen one, it was just. Calvin Ford said, "Is this the worst boxing match in the history?" Yes, yes, quite possibly. And I grew up watching a lot of boxing matches, all the way, from Tyson, Lennox, to all the way to Pacquiao and Mayweather. Love boxing. Tonight was not boxing. That was whatever that was. That was not boxing. Okay, that was just like a joke, a, a comedy, if you will. And it just goes to show that. Ooh, Okay. It just goes to show that nobody should ever take Jake Paul seriously ever again. This claim that, oh, Jake Paul's like, oh, he has resurrected boxing. He has claimed this sport as his own, just like Logan Paul, his brother, is mastering the pro wrestling. No, no, guys. Logan Paul is a joke as well. He's also a clown. Okay, he may be athletic. Credit where credit is due. He has some athleticism in him. But still, um, it just they made a mockery out of the sports that I love. And yes, I consider pro wrestling kind of a sport as well, but more of a performance sport. And just Logan and Jake are just like making a mockery out of it. I'm just like so pissed off, man. What a disgrace, to borrow from the term that British always use, because I watch football as well, or soccer. What a disgrace! A disgrace! The undercard fights. I think one of you guys asked about the undercard. I did not watch the undercard fights. I apologize again. I just came back from work, and luckily I got home in time to watch the Jake Paul and Tyson. Listener Serrano was robbed. Why would Mike accept a bribe to lose? I thought he was a warrior. I don't know if I would call it a bribe. I think it was just the whole thing is just stage. It was just publicity stunt, and it was just so Jake Paul's ego, so he can have his ego can get even bigger, and he can have a bragging right saying, "Hey, I beat Mike Tyson," and then Mike Tyson is just happy to cash in some check or some whatever the millions of dollars is gonna get to take home. So they neither of them were ever serious. Okay, this tonight was even faker than WWE. And I hate to call WWE fake because I'm a huge fan, but tonight was even faker than that. That's how lame that was. Um, yeah, dude. I just like if anybody still takes if anybody still takes Jake Paul seriously after tonight, then I can't take you seriously, bro. um, he couldn't even knock him out. This makes both parties look bad. Mike is after stage five. Stage five. Exactly. And do you see that, man? Jake Paul was even terrible. I know he landed a lot of punches, but still, he was not even technical, bro. He didn't look like he was a skilled boxer at all. It was just like I don't know what that was. Again, oh my god. This is how I felt with some of Mayweather's matches in the past when I paid like $120 for pay-per-view, if for example, and it went up. What ended up happening was a boring match. Mayweather, you can give him credit, for his technical stuff, but he is more or less a boring fighter. He's not very entertaining. Mike Tyson in his prime was a beast. Like you knew when you were watching Mike Tyson back in the 80s and the 90s that you're gonna get your money's worth. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was. That's how it felt. And back then, won the first round or two rounds, not even the first round. Sometimes he would like knock him out before the first round ends. So that was the deal back then. It was so cool watching it. And it was not boring like Mayweather. And so yeah, you uh, there's part of me that when I was watching it, I was like, oh man, that's it, only first round. But I get it. I understood. Like at least Mike Tyson was just like, okay, I'm gonna give him my best blow, and poof, and knock him out till Tuesday, right? Knock him out to the next Sunday, if you will. Um, Here tonight was just 8 rounds of boredom, 8 rounds of sluggishness, 8 rounds of just you know do- doing rounds and dancing on it was like not even Muhammad Ali kind of dancing. It was just dancing like playing not seriously, man. They were like, what are you doing? Oh god, I'm so pissed off. Tonight's match was just so infuriating and upsetting. What the hell? Um, yeah, and Netflix, you made yourself trending not because of the fight, but because you crashed every other 5 minutes. Not good. Not good. You gotta fix yourself, Netflix. If you wanna be the new home for prime time live sports, this is not the way to do it. So all around, tonight's event was just an absolute disgrace, an absolute farce, absolute trash. Um, I feel bad for Mike Tyson. I gotta say, one of the commentators correctly mentioned that sports is a young man's game, and tonight is the perfect example of that. You could tell that Mike is just his head's not in it. He's just he's just an old man. He's just like, I just want to get through this 8 rounds. It was visible. You could tell from his face that he's just a guy just going through it, going through the motion. Unbelievable, unbelievable. Um, yeah, that's it. Those are my 2 cents. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. Uh, Let me know your thoughts about tonight's match. Did you guys enjoy it? Okay, Kamosa, did the WC sanction this? I haven't been following much. If they did, what is the WC thinking? No, I don't think they sanctioned it. If they sanctioned it, it would be shocking to me. It would be news to me. This is just a publicity stunt. You know, nothing's on the line. No titles on the line. It's just money, dude. It's just money and the fight for relevancy, to stay relevant. That's what it was. You know, it's all hype. It's all just hype. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, Calma Force, and everybody who timed in on the chat. And as always, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Let's rock this. Boom. Whoa.